Good evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Saturday, February 12, 2022. I am Timothy Jaikran. Thank you for tuning in. In the headlines, Central Bank playing a vital role in Guyana's fiscal stability, says President Ali. New operation offshore Guyana will enhance earnings and drive development, says Minister BHARRAT. Labour Ministry aiming for monthly inspections offshore. Over 1.3 million in uncustomed goods seized in Region 9, and trio arrested with ganja and cocaine at TABATINGA, while 115 million in marijuana destroyed in BERBICE River. Now for the news in detail. We begin tonight's newscast by telling you that President Dr. Irfaan Ali today hailed the important but often unsung role being played by the Central Bank of Guyana in ensuring that the country's economy as a whole remains fiscally stable amid global shocks. Gerald Bryan joined us with the details.
The president made his pronouncement on Saturday at State House, where he received a copy of the $2,000 note that will soon go into circulation. According to the president, who was accompanied by Central Bank Governor Dr. Guyana's, Guyanese should feel proud of the work being done by the bank.
And if you look at the performance from the Bank of Guyana, we have not been talking about this much. But if you look at the performance of the Bank of Guyana in terms of their instruments and in terms of the stability that the management of the monetary side has brought to our country, ensuring macroeconomic stability, we must be proud at what the central bank has been accomplishing.
The note commemorates Guyana's 55th independence anniversary and depicts local culture, art and symbols, flora and fauna. According to President Ali, the designs on the note were selected with the government's One Guyana philosophy in mind.
And today I'm very, very honored and proud to see this note and the features of the note and how integrated it is with national life.
The note, the first of its kind in Guyana, also depicts the country's oil resources represented by a barrel besides the map. In a brief comment to the media, Dr. GANJA explained what makes the note unique.
This is the first polymer note to be introduced in Guyana and the first to depict our newfound natural resource, oil, that is represented by a barrel beside the map of Guyana on the note. These polymer notes have enhanced characteristics of being cleaner, durable, environmentally friendly, and more secure. The notes are resistant to dirt and moisture and can be easily cleaned. The substrate, which is stronger than paper, will provide a longer life.
Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
The government of Guyana has welcomed ExxonMobil's commencement of production at its second offshore oil development on the Stabroek Block, the Liza Phase 2 project. With Guyana's oil production capacity slated to reach 340,000 barrels per day later this year, Natural Resources Minister Vikram Bharat says this new operation will enhance the country's earnings and drive development. Amar Prasad reports.
ExxonMobil announced on Friday that the Liza Unity FPSO has commenced oil production in the Stabroek Block and is expected to reach its target of 220,000 barrels later in the year. This will add to the more than 120,000 barrels per day current capacity at the Liza Destiny FPSO. In a statement, Natural Resources Minister Vikram Bharat said, the government of Guyana and citizens welcome the operation of the new FPSO to sustainably extract and manage the country's oil and gas resources, which will further enhance earnings from this sector to drive Guyana's infrastructure development and improve the delivery of services to all citizens. With Guyana set to earn over $950 million from the oil and gas sector this year, Minister Bharat noted that the increased total daily capacity of the oil augurs well for the country, especially on the heels of operationalizing local content secretariat and the Natural Resources Fund. He further reassured that the government will be taking all necessary steps to ensure that all Guyanese benefit from the earnings derived from the petroleum sector. To this end, the Natural Resources Ministry will continue to work with ExxonMobil, which intends to bring at least 4 FPSOs into operation to produce more than 800,000 barrels per day from the Stabroek Block by the end of 2025. The Stabroek Block's recoverable resource base is currently estimated at more than 10 billion oil equivalent barrels and has potential to support up to 10 projects. For the Evening News, Amar Prasad.
The expansion of offshore oil and gas activities has catalyzed efforts by the Labour Ministry to have frequent inspections relating to labour and operational safety. In this Rupasinaran report, you will hear that the intention to make these visits a monthly affair.
Labour Minister Joseph Hamilton shared with media operatives on Friday that the first inspection offshore last month did not raise any discrepancy relating to labour or operational safety and health. Nevertheless, discourse continues with ExxonMobil on the arrangements for officers to police these vessels. Minister Hamilton has outlined that Guyana is open for business, but it must be accompanied by adherence to the law. He also clarified that the cost attached to send labor officers offshore will be incurred by the company, not the ministry.
All I can say to you, that the arrangement I have with ExxonMobil to ensure that regularly my officers can go on the FPSOs and whatever vessels are here, is that it has no cost to the ministry. My intention is the same time the OSH officers going, labor officers are going. That's why labor officers, they have to be trained. I would want to have them every month on that. That has to be discussed and negotiated. I suspect with the Exxon and the other party. I have my technical officers who are close to the matter and who are having discussions with them. Earlier talk, we established a joint technical committee with Exxon, and so we have continued discourse.
Notably, given the preference to have frequent monitoring on these vessels and limited trained personnel to conduct such operation, the ministry is boosting its capacity with training.
Just about a month ago, the first time we had an occupation safety and health officer go offshore, and that will be a continued process. We have to train more officers, because presently there is only 2 persons we have in this country, Guyanese, who were trained to do something like that. And all the labor officers also, they have to be trained, because I want both OSH and labor officers to work on the vessels. So they have to look at both labor relations and they will look at health and safety.
Operational safety and health officers have increased from 9 to 30. The ministry has also facilitated opportunities for 14 Guyanese to be trained overseas. Rupasinaran, The Evening News.
Several operations conducted by various law enforcement agencies in Region 9 Upper Takatu Essequibo over the past week have resulted in the seizure of over 1.3 million in uncustomed alcoholic beverages. More in this report.
On Saturday, ranks of the Guyana Police Force, acting on information received, uncovered just over $600,000 in uncustomed goods at Tabatinga, Central Rupununi, Region 9. Police reports indicated that the ranks went to the homes of 2 residents, a 31-year-old taxi driver and a 54-year-old businessman, where they found and seized a quantity of uncustomed alcoholic beverages totaling $624,000. These included 2,004 tins of Itipava beers, 180 tins of Antarctica beers, 60 tins of Skull beers, 60 bottles of Blend 7, 48 bottles of Skarloff vodka, and 12 bottles of Blackstone rum. The uncustomed items were taken to the Lethem police station along with the 2 suspects. Meanwhile, only recently a joint interagency collaboration at the Lethem checkpoint on the Rupununi Main Road in Region 9 resulted in the seizure of another set of uncustomed goods. That operation was conducted between February 7 and 10, 2022 by agents of the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit, CANU, the Guyana Revenue Authority, GRA, and their Brazilian counterparts. Several cases of alcoholic beverages amounting to $700,000 were also confiscated during that exercise. Additionally, 2 Venezuelan nationals were arrested. For the evening news, Shane Marks.
Meanwhile, police in Region 9 also arrested 3 persons after a quantity of suspected cannabis and cocaine were found in their central Rupununi yard. Acting on information received, the party of policemen went to a house at Tabatinga, Lethem, where 2 males and a female were found. During a search of the premises, a scale and a quantity of Ziploc bags were found. When questioned, the suspects told the police that they sell algae. However, a further search of the yard unearthed a plastic bag containing suspected cannabis on the retrieve. Additionally, 8 small plastics containing suspected cocaine were also found. The 3 occupants were arrested and taken to the Lethem police station, where the narcotics were weighed and amount to 34 grams cannabis and 3 grams of cocaine. They remain in custody pending charges. Coming up on the other side of the break, 115.8 million in marijuana destroyed in BERBICE River. Please stay tuned.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Satco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store, located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rheinveld.
Moving, lifting, or bending, whatever the job, we at Sylvie's Variety Store have the right tools to make it happen. Pallet jacks and hand trucks for bonds and industrial sites, easy pickup and convenient maneuvers. Chain hoist from Roughneck and Northern Industrial, the perfect solution to lifting heavy objects. And then there's the 12-ton and 16-ton hydraulic pipe benders from half to 2 inch. We also stock the shop press machine from Northern Industrial. Sylvie's Variety Store stocks the tools to make it happen.
Welcome back, you're watching the evening news. Approximately 115.8 million worth of marijuana were discovered and subsequently destroyed during a narcotic eradication exercise conducted by the police force at Zion BERBICE River. The exercise was an intelligence-led operation carried out by ranks from police headquarters from Regional Division 10 on Friday. The operation led to the discovery of 3 fields of marijuana sitting on about 40 acres of land, consisting of about 55,000 cannabis plants. About 60 pounds of dried cannabis, 6 nurseries and 5 camps were also found. The cannabis plants and camps were destroyed by way of fire. No arrest was made. In light of a recent warning by the Caribbean Public Health Agency, urging health ministries in the region not to use the current Pfizer vaccine for the 5 to 11 age cohort, Guyana's Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony has reassured that the government is awaiting the specialized Pfizer dose to immunize this young age group. Amar Prasad has the details.
Speaking with reporters on Tuesday evening, President Dr. Irfaan Ali reassured that the announcement of the NRF board will be made with immediacy once Parliament submits its list of nominees.
We have some very good names that is being considered. I'm just waiting now for the Parliament to send their recommendation, and then with immediacy you will see the board.
Last month, the government tabled a motion in the National Assembly seeking to have the Committee of Appointments recommend a candidate to be appointed by the President to serve as one of the directors on the NRF board. The 3 to 5 member board is expected to be made up of mostly civil society representatives, including 1 nominee from the private sector and 1 from the Parliament. Only last week, Vice President Dr. Bharrat reassured that the nominee coming from the Parliament will be supported by both sides of the National Assembly. Meanwhile, President Ali has already made it clear that he will select the individuals to sit on the board with the utmost integrity. The NRF Act was passed in the National Assembly in December amid chaos caused by the APNU-AFC opposition, who did their utmost to disrupt the proceedings after the bill was brought up for debate. Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manikchand.
Rupasina Rang now tells us that a current shortfall of nurses in the public health system has government geared up towards increasing intakes into the nursing program, as well as introducing specialized training to adequately service demands locally. Here are the details.
Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony, as he was being engaged during the recently concluded budget estimates, told the National Assembly that there are enough doctors in the system. The challenge, however, lies in the shortfall of nurses. According to him, the issue exists countrywide, except at the Linden Hospital complex, where the quota is satisfactory. Part of the plan to address this hurdle is to increase training capacity in the programs offered and include specialized courses.
One of the things that we'll be doing is we'll be expanding some of the nursing programs, and in the future years what we're hoping to do is to have a larger program to be able to train more nurses and also to offer specialized nursing programs. Because as you recognize, in some of the departments, it's not just about having regular nursing, but you need to have the specialization. And so some of these changes we'll be able to do.
The minister informed the House that a reason for this drawback is linked to an exodus, whereby trained nurses are leaving Guyana to take up opportunities with foreign recruiters.
We also have an additional problem, and that is their active recruitment of nurses from Guyana. And we have been losing nurses because of this active recruitment. So we are looking at various ways that we can slow that down. I don't think we might be able to ever stop it, but we at least have to slow it down and then be able to produce more nurses for the facilities and so forth.
While government cannot compete with salaries offered in some countries, he noted that they are exploring multiple avenues, including non-monetary incentives such as daycare and other facilities for the nurse population.
We have to address retention. That's a much bigger problem, and that is to compete with the salaries that are being paid in the UK. That's a very tall order. And what is happening right now is that when a nurse is offered a job, let's say in the UK, that offer is not just for the nurse to go to the UK, but for the entire family to accompany the nurse. And so these are the dynamics that we have, and we'll have to work to see how we can slow it down or address it. But there are other non-monetary incentives that we can put in place, and we are actively considering some of those incentives. Other than that, as you would know, having served as a Minister of the Public Service, is that to increase salaries, that would require a lot more detail and study to see how that can be done.
Rupa Sinarain, The Evening News.
President Dr. Irfan Ali has charged new graduates of the University of Guyana to use the knowledge, skills, and values they have acquired for their tertiary level education to revolutionize Guyana's development. Lawanda McAllister reports.
You, the graduates of the class of 2020-2021, have successfully equipped yourself with the most potent arsenal of change in university education. You must now use the knowledge, the skills, and the values that you would have acquired to change your personal circumstances and revolutionize Guyana's development.
That was President Dr. Irfan Ali's address to the UG's 55th convocation ceremony. In a pre-recorded video message played during the virtual ceremonies over the last week, the head of state pointed out that Guyana needs expertise, more so because of the transformative drive to not only modernize, but to diversify the country's economy. He said that his government will attach extreme importance to developing and retaining its high-skilled and knowledgeable graduates, while explaining underlining the importance of tertiary level education.
Your country needs your expertise. Guyana is on a transformative path of development towards a modern and diversified economy, one which will attach extreme importance to the development and retention of its highly skilled and knowledgeable graduates. Your education will unlock doors and open windows of opportunities for you to contribute to national development.
The head of state said his government believes in the transformative power of education and has devoted increased resources towards improving the country's education system, including university education. To this end, he recommitted to equipping the University of Guyana with the tools needed to respond to the needs of an increasingly knowledge-based society.
You are the generation in which Guyana's future resides, and it is you to whom we look to realize a One Guyana.
Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the University of Guyana has been streaming its graduation ceremonies for the various faculties on its Facebook page. Lawanda McAllister for the Evening News.
Active COVID-19 cases in Region 6 continue to show a downward trend. Currently, the region has 127 active cases, with 37 in New Amsterdam and 37 under quarantine. The town of Corriverton currently has 19. Notwithstanding the downward trend, a new infectious unit was this morning commissioned in the compound of the New Amsterdam Hospital. Andrew Carmichael reports that the aim is to ensure Guyana's capacity to manage COVID-19 patients is increased while at the same time improving healthcare services. Let's have a look.
That was the ribbon-cutting ceremony for the $41 million facility here in the compound of the New Amsterdam Hospital. 15 months ago, when the pandemic hit, Guyana was not prepared for it, and according to Regional Health Officer Dr. Vaisala Sharma, it was very difficult for those working in the institution to cope. Regional Chairman David Armagon, speaking at a very simple ceremony here this morning, said that they had to consult the Guyana Sugar Corporation, GAISUCO, where they were able to get a building to house COVID-19 positive patients.
Every day I used to get a complaint from people who were housed in the estate compound. But we still need to be grateful to GAISUCO for providing those facilities for us when things were bad. And so today, we recognize that there is a need for an infectious unit, a prominent infectious unit, where our patients can be comfortable and the team that are left in charge of looking after these patients are also comfortable.
We want to see a more elaborate plan of what this hospital can be in the near future. 17 years ago, the profile of diseases were totally different. And now we have to rethink what we're doing here. And also the types of surgeries and other services that we're offering here. They've got to be radically different. I know the surgeons here have been doing a lot of good work in laparoscopic surgery, and we want that to be one of the hallmarks that we have here. So we have to make sure that they have the right equipment to be able to continue this type of surgery here at this hospital. And it also would limit the time that people spend in the hospital. So that's another area that we have.
That was Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony. The facility here in the New Amsterdam Hospital will have 15 beds, inclusive of a maternity bed for patients.
With this particular Omicron wave that we have just gone through, I said just gone through because I think we are now at the tail end of it. We don't know what will be the next step. We don't know what next would be coming because you still have a lot of people who are unvaccinated. And there are reservoirs of mutations. And what the next variant is going to be, we don't know. So these facilities are not going to be idle because for the next wave of COVID infections, we are even better prepared. And if we, and when we get out of these waves of COVID infections, we would repurpose this to make sure that we can use it for other types of infectious diseases. So it is important that we have these resources.
From the New Amsterdam Hospital for the Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
We will now take a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to traffic from 11 hours 59 this evening until 6 hours tomorrow, Sunday, February 13th, 2022. This is to facilitate maintenance works on the bridge. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is expected to be closed at 14 hours 10 on Sunday, February 13th, 2022 for a period of 1.5 hours.
Puran, Holder and Hetmeyer among big buys at IPL auction. This and more coming up in the Sportscast sponsored by Macorp.
Superbet brings to you endless options to win with Chick Chick, Roulette, Virtual Sports, Virtual Daily Game, Sport and Live Betting, plus hundreds of online games. There's something for every player. Make your lucky bet today at any agent across Guyana and online at superbet.gy. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 18 years and older to play.